Welcome to the 6 o'clock news. No. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the season 3 finale part 1.
Yes.
This is the first part of the finale, and we just want to talk about a couple of things that we have lined up. Louise brought this topic to the table.
Yes, I did.
Oh my gosh.
Yes,
and I mean
did.
it's a fair topic to talk about because it involved some things that were fatal.
Yes, it did.
And
there are questions about responsibility.
Yeah. So we're talking about the Astroworld event.
Yes.
Louise, you want to give them the rundown as to what took place?
Yeah, of course. So, for any of our listeners that aren't really familiar with Travis Scott, he's an American rapper. This was his annual event, Astroworld, and there was a massive crowd crush at the event. In all, 10 people died.
Wow.
And there were many, many, many injured people. Now, among the people that died, all the people that died were actually 25 and under. So they were all extremely young. They were all extremely young, if I remember correctly.
Right.
The youngest being a 10-year-old boy.
What?
Yes. Yes. So I'll just give you a few
Cliff notes.
details. So in all, 25 people were hospitalized and more than 300 treated for injuries at the event's field hospital. Now here's the thing, right? Fans began lining up from since 5 a.m.
What time was this concert supposed to start?
I don't know actually. I think it was like a 10 a.m.
kind of energy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? Now the thing is, there was like a massive number of fans even before the concert started. Right? And according to social media, I don't know how true this is. Since in the months that he was promoting the show, he was telling fans, if tickets sell out, don't worry, still come through and storm. That's basically the message he was pushing on social media.
Right.
So
he's trying to be the good guy of this whole thing and just kind of get people to come and
basically storm if you don't have a ticket. Right. So there's already this big crowd, like this big rowdy crowd. Then the gates opened, people literally surged in, they were breaking down barriers. Security was already, like, as soon as the gates opened, security was already pretty frazzled. Right. So as the day wore on, fans are just compressing the stage. By the time Travis Scott comes on stage, like, the place is packed. And Travis Scott, in his infinite wisdom, is basically inciting fans to like do like mosh pits and stuff during his performance.
Not a good idea.
Right, during his performance. Now, eventually what happened, as I said, there was a crowd crush. The people in front were crushed by the people in the back. Right? According to some videos I saw on Twitter, they were packed so tightly that if you put your hands in the sky, you couldn't put them back down. People were literally being trampled on. And people were literally trying to climb on the stage. Those who could, they were trying to climb on the stage to let like security personnel or cameramen hey,
this
people are literally dying. There are videos of fans saying to a cameraman, dude, people are dying. You need to stop the show. Right? There's footage on Twitter of an ambulance coming through the crowd, and like someone is speaking through like a loudspeaker or something,
and
letting
they
people
can't,
know.
They can't hear.
No, and the thing is, Travis Scott is performing at this time. He's on stage. He can see the ambulance,
but he doesn't do anything.
No, he appears to not do anything. Now, at one point in his performance, he actually stopped the music and said, all right, let's
calm down a little bit.
Let's try to calm down a little bit.
Okay.
And then he started again. Right? And the crux of the matter is, at the end of the performance, he said he had no idea the kind of carnage that had taken place. right? He had no idea the kind of carnage that had taken place. He didn't know that the situation in the crowd was that bad.
Okay, I want to just jump right into the discussion on that note. I am going to say that you as an artist, if you told people from the beginning, come and storm if you don't have a ticket, you are the cause for
some of it.
At least, don't tell me 50%, 80%.
Well, it's funny you should say that because among the defendants named in lawsuits, because there are lawsuits.
Yeah.
Drake, because he did a performance. Travis Scott himself, obviously, because he incited fans.
Right.
Live Nation, which is and that's another piece of bacchanal. They are the events promoter that actually put the show on, and they're also a venue operator based in Beverly Hills. Now, Live Nation, who I believe managed the last Astroworld, they have a track record of safety violations, right? So for Live Nation, this is not a new thing. This is not a new thing for Live Nation at all.
As I always tell people, if you do it once, you do it twice, and you find that nothing changing, figure it out. I mean, how many times are you going to do the same thing and get the same result, and then you're going to just be like, well,
yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. And the thing is, people will still go to shows put on by Live Nation.
Well, okay, and I see in your notes here that it's possible that it's a branding thing, and I could see that being a reason as to why people will go.
Well, yes, because that is how Travis Scott, and that's the thing, in previous performances, he has been known to incite fans to, I'm not going to say incite fans to violence, but he is known to incite fans to become really hype.
And rowdy, yeah.
There's a video, for example, I'll try to link it in the description. There's a video of him at a previous concert. Someone took one of his shoes. So he stopped the performance and told the fans, get that dude, he took my shoe. Basically inciting the fans around whoever took his shoe to beat him up so he could get his shoe back.
If I had 2 words for Travis Scott, receive some sense. Okay, so you'll add in that little sticker thing there, right?
Yes.
Thank you, because it's whole week I saying all you need to receive some sense. You have to act within reason.
Yes.
I can understand if you say, guys, I need your help. There's a guy running away with my shoe. Could you just stop him?
Yes.
I'm asking for the whole crowd.
Yes.
I need some help to get back.
Or on the flip side,
if
my name is Travis Scott,
you also have money. You can also
you
buy
have
back
money.
You can buy back a shoe.
He has I think it's a sneaker with Nike.
Right.
He's making money from that. He's obviously making money from his music. His baby mama is Kylie. Is her last name still Kardashian? I don't know, but you know who I mean by Kylie.
Yes.
You know, so your baby mama's rich. You're rich. It's a shoe.
Yeah.
It's a shoe. You can probably buy 20 more pairs of that shoe.
Of that same shoe.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, poor Travis. Not only do we have the lawsuits, because it's multiple lawsuits.
Right.
Poor guy has been dropped from Coachella. Right now, now here's the thing about being dropped from Coachella.
That's a big deal.
Fans actually did up a petition to have the management of Coachella drop him as an act. Right now, we all know Coachella is one of the biggest music festivals in the United States. And it's headlined from artists from across all different genres.
Yeah.
Right? So being dropped from Coachella
is a big deal. It's a big deal,
and really
it's a big deal on the image too.
Yes, on the image. Yes, on Coachella's image. Now, unlike Live Nation, forgive me, Coachella has a much better track record in terms of safety. They take safety very seriously, especially seeing that their events are like massive. Massive. Right? So I was speaking with a friend of mine, Megan, and she speculated that maybe for Coachella, it's a branding thing. Coachella, and obviously would Coachella want to be associated with Travis World, especially after that incident in which people died.
Right. That's what I was getting at, which is it's probably exactly that, a branding thing. You kind of don't want to be associated with an actor that has a track record of being a part of something else that's caused damage. Yes.
And your latest performance is where is where that that terrible stuff took place. You know, and again, I have to reiterate that he claims that he didn't know, but there were fans in the crowd trying to get on stage, telling the cameraman, telling security, yo, people are dying.
Right.
You know, people are getting crushed. And the little boy who passed, he was actually in a coma for a while before he passed. Yeah. So Kemi, I get that. I get that you seem to be going with the angle that he's definitely responsible
to some extent. And I think that this is something that a lot of artists need to understand. I remember, and I'm gonna use the example of when we started off, maybe season 2, we were talking about artists finding a way and getting yourself out of this rut that you're in. I believe in responsibility to some extent, personal responsibility and personal accountability to some extent. I've always been on that, and I think that Travis needs to really take ownership of this.
Yes, he does.
I
mean, he will by
force. Forget the courts, forget the litigation. You need to fix your mix, Travis. And I talking to you as a fellow artist. Yes, at some point Travis gonna end up seeing this video. Yes. We reach. But either way, you have to take responsibility for what you did.
Yes.
And even if it wasn't a word, it's the same concept. You know, there are many examples to which people consider insight, but that's a topic for another discussion.
Well, whether or not it's a topic for discussion, criminal charges have been laid.
Yes.
Both in the past for his past behavior
and presently,
as well as for this one, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken.
So I think that, Travis, this one is on you for sure. You did it 4 or 5 times. No. You did it 4 or 5 times by now.
Yeah. But
no, go ahead.
I want to know what's going on with Live Nation.
Okay.
It's one thing for the artist to be on stage and be like real, inciting the crowd to like be really, hype and stuff. And it's one thing for the artist to claim that they didn't know what was going on.
Right.
But Live Nation, they're the ones in charge of this stage, in charge of security. They're the ones who would have organized the water stations.
So you're saying that Live Nation also needs to take some response? Well, they have to.
Yes, because they are the event organizers. They are the ones who put everything together.
Yeah.
So at what point did your system sort of fall apart in terms of monitoring what's happening in the crowd?
Probably many concerts back, because if you're seeing that this is 4 or 5 in.
Yes, for Live Nation as well as Travis.
Yeah,
Live Nation has had the
track record. So there you go.
They have a track record already.
Live Nation, this is also on you.
Yes.
And
they have been named as a defendant.
Right, good.
Interestingly enough, Apple Music is also facing litigation. No, in a nutshell, it's because it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was streamed by them.
Okay.
So therefore, I guess in the eyes of the law, that makes them culpable.
Yes, in a sense, yes, because they could have stopped the stream.
Yes.
That's what it boils down to.
That is what it boils down to. Now, he had this video. I'm sure everyone's seen it.
No, I haven't, but...
Okay, he basically recorded a video, I believe on the night of or the night after, and it was on Instagram. And he was saying how sorry he was and he had no idea, but he looked like he was acting. No one believed him.
Insert an eye roll here, please.
Insert an eye roll here, please, editor. No one believed him. And it was like, and this is just my opinion, by the way, nobody come and sue me. I don't have court clothes.
Yeah.
Right. I don't have court clothes.
And orange don't look good on any of us.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. So
I'll go find the drum sample.
Yes. So I think no, Travis. No.
And Live Nation too. And Apple. I think what this boils down to is personal accountability. Even if it was, for example, 4 of us going down the road and something, and all 4 of us were there at the scene, we are all responsible for what took place, because I could have told you shouldn't have do that. You could have told the next man, well, boy, we're really doing.
Exactly.
And the next one could have told me, well, you understand?
Exactly.
It is entirely about personal responsibility and, I guess, being your brother or your sister's keeper.
Not only that, whatever happened to being a decent human being? Because as I said, there was one video of a guy climbed on stage, was trying to get the attention of a cameraman, and he's like literally telling the cameraman, yo, you all need to stop the show. People are dying. This guy's dead. The cameraman had the power to do something. I'm sure the cameraman had on like a communication device of some kind. All they have to do is say, yo, something is going wrong in the crowd. Can someone look into it, please? The cameraman completely ignored him.
What they could have done is improve their communication systems within. So, for example, if anybody has ever done stage and backstage work, they give you a little headphone thing and a receiver, and then you literally press a button and you talk to the people on the other end of the... Something simple as that, and you have a runner, somebody, and in the case of how many people was it at the concert?
Sorry, and let me just...
There were
50,000
right?
People.
You could have at least 10,000 people in there just to kind of be a marker.
Yeah.
And even if you're hearing one man saying, hey, we need to ting, you would hear it across all of the receivers.
Yes, exactly.
If it going to cost you more money, my boy.
Exactly. And we know the cameraman would have had receivers.
Yes. Hands down, that's how it works.
Hands down, exactly. That's how it works.
Right now, our cameraman have on a receiver of sorts.
Yes, he does.
He have on and he could hear everything that we're saying.
Yes.
So take note.
Yes.
Live Nation, Travis Scott, all of you. Take note.
All of you. Yeah. Of course, there are other defendants that I haven't mentioned, but those are the 2 main culprits that we kind of want to focus on.
We will get there because...
And the venue was not over capacity, as some sources have stated.
Okay.
It was not over capacity. It was the main issue was the crowd control.
Yeah.
It was not that the venue itself was inappropriate. Let's just get that
out of the way
one time. Now, Kemi, what do you think this means for entertainment in Trinidad and Tobago? Now, obviously, we're in the middle of a beef pilau, so any sorts of live performances are pretty much, no panorama, no concerts, nothing. But what do you think? What do you think Trinidadians... If it were to
hypothetically occur?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Which I
all
think
you had better get it right. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yes.
All you had better get it right.
Yes.
Because a lot of us put in the work to ensure that people are well entertained and feel a sense of safety. I'm not going to go to a concert. I mean, and a really good example of this. Now, I'm not going to name the Panyard per se, but I distinctly remember Panorama, and you're going, and that's a normal thing. You go Panyard hopping, you hear the next band play, whatever. Rammed out. You have to squeeze like this to get in to even see what's going on inside of that particular Panyard.
Yes.
There was a little boy, I distinctly remember it, and it was something that shocked me, and I was like, let's dip. The little boy fainted inside of there. Couldn't breathe because of how much carbon monoxide was in the space.
So he was basically in the middle of a crowd of people.
Yes.
Right, exactly. And that happened to people at the Travis Scott concert too. They were
called carbon monoxide poisoning.
Yes, people were passing out.
So
yeah,
all you had better get it right, and that goes to Panorama as well.
Yes,
because it can't be that Panyard's jam packed, and this goes for concerts and any other kind of event you have.
Yeah, because Trinidadians, And not just concerts either, any sort of event where there's going to be a large number of people, there needs to be the right crowd control. The venue itself needs to be appropriate for the volume of people.
Exactly.
And I often wonder, have we ever had any incidents like that in Trinidad?
I don't necessarily recall. But Mr. Producer, you could hint?
Yeah.
I remember. Yes, that was one.
Oh, yes. That was Real Unity. Real Unity, right. That happened some years ago and some bleachers fell. However, that incident was due to a piece of infrastructure failing, not necessarily because there was a crowd control issue.
Right.
So, it was.
Good.
They said that the VIP people, crowded VIP people from backstage came and crowded the VIP bleacher that was supposed to.
Jeez. So Producer, you don't want to put on a microphone and talk for the people. Look, let me put you on air. Click it in. He say no. But basically speaking, people, we've had a history of it here, but we have a chance to learn from
we have
that nonsense that happened out there.
Yes, because...
And they have more people, generally. In Trinidad, our population is much smaller, so we could fix that early. We could put some things in place.
Yes. I mean, I'm sure there's a reason why. If you've gone to any events, Kemi, a fete, a concert...
I've been to several.
There's always going to be... There's always going to be just a line of fire officers just standing up. They just like... Yeah, what's up?
Yeah.
And thing is, they are there from when the thing starts.
Yep.
And they close in.
Yeah.
The thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying that fire officers can, save the whole world.
No.
I think it
But
surely...
at least it's in place so that it doesn't happen, or it's not likely to happen.
Exactly. The being fire officers, these are officers of the law.
Yeah.
That speaks a lot to what event promoters are required to do in this country.
Yeah.
So it really makes me wonder what happened with Astroworld. And Astroworld was much bigger. Are there any spots in Trinidad and Tobago that can hold 50,000 people?
Realistically. Queen's Park, Savannah, if you...
Yeah, but we would literally be like a tin of sardines.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so I guess that answers that question. But realistically, I'm not sure.
But realistically, we're not gonna ever have an event where there's 50,000 people in it.
Yeah, because there's no venue that is safely large enough.
We will probably sell out a couple thousand, and you'll have several days of that event. So if you want to do and make money, Travis, have several. Well, and Live Nation too, have several events and have smaller crowds. Ding, 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 ding.
But here's the thing: there are larger music festivals than that have not had nearly the amount.
Well, no, I'm looking at it from the perspective of
less
practice.
People means more control.
Not only that, but practice makes perfect. If you don't have it right with a small crowd, what's the point in trying to make it right with a big crowd if you're gonna end up in these kinds of problems? So, yeah. Learn your lesson. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yes, learn your lesson. And to the promoter, y'all have a lot of explaining to do. Travis Scott was telling the crowd what to do and how to do it. But as the event promoter, your entire reputation is on the line. Someone should have been able to tell Travis Scott, stop that.
Yeah.
Stop it, because you are making this a dangerous situation.
Yeah.
So I think Live Nation is just as much to blame.
Yeah, agreed.
Just as much to blame.
I think that kind of puts us in a good place to end this episode.
Yes.
I think I've been saying it for a long time, maybe as early as season 1, personal responsibility, personal accountability. Make sure whatever you do, you can answer for it.
Yes.
That's what really boils down to it. Right? Ladies and gents, I think we're gonna wrap this one here. I think that the Travis Scott / Astroworld thing, it was heartbreaking, obviously.
Yes, it was.
But at the same time, it was a lesson that we can all learn from. Just again, personal accountability. Louise, we'll probably drop some of the links as to where we have our sources or everything will be
so forth,
in the description on the website. Like, share, comment, subscribe, merch.
Yes.
Buy some merch. It's now available. We'll talk all that coming soon. All the information will be on our website, www.forthemoostpartpodcast.com. Send us an email if you have any questions. Drop a comment, share, like, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Share.
And we will see you.
Sharing is caring.
And we will hear you on the next one. Peace out, guys.
Peace out, guys.